Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about another horror movie, and it's actually a sequel, and it is like Beetlejuice. So I have been hearing quite a bit online from a lot of horror fans that they think part two was not really like needed, but I feel like it was a very good sequel. I actually really enjoyed it, and there were a lot of plot lines I'm glad were covered for the sequel. And I believe part two definitely was very well done. I don't see anything wrong with the movie at all. And I gotta be honest, there's only one reason I would have had a problem with part two. And that is if like Adam and us like Barbara was not addressed in part two. And there's one part with Lydia that she does like briefly say mention them to her daughter in the sequel about them that they were finally at peace and that's why their ghost had left the house. To me, that couple was very important to Lydia in the first movie because, of course, they helped her in her situation with Beetlejuice. They were always there for her. So I guess in a way, they were like a second pair of parents for Lydia. And I'm so glad they had been addressed in the sequel because to me, it would not have made any sense if she had not mentioned them. Because, of course, she had a really strong bond with that couple. And I'm really glad she was the one to say it. And another thing I'm really glad was talked about in part two was the fact that we finally got to see a backstory of say Beetlejuice's ex-girlfriend from the because he had mentioned her in the first one in a very funny scene. And in part two, she is so one of the main like villains in part two. And yes, I understand there were fans that felt like her character was underused because toward the end of the movie, in a joke way, she gets like taken out pretty quickly. But in a way, I felt like it worked. Like, I didn't see anything wrong with it because she went out in Tim Burton fashion. So, I don't know. It didn't really bother me that much, to be honest. And I'm really glad they also addressed, I was like Beetlejuice's, love for Lydia in part two. It was kind of funny that, yeah, he never got over her. The part that killed me was when he took out the marriage certificate. That was hilarious in part two. So, yeah, part two, I saw nothing wrong with it. I felt like it was a very awesome sequel, and to top it off, we also got a really awesome expansion on like the world of the dead. That was really cool how they did that. Like we got to see more of how it is, what other I guess what other like, areas exist and how it works, the rules of it. And of course like Beetlejuice was now in charge of this world, so he I guess did his own image of it. Because in part one, we just saw like very small glimpse of it, and this one they went all out with it and it worked very well. Like for me, one aspect of like the Dead World I really enjoyed was the train. And every time they showed up, people said would be dancing before you got on. That was a neat idea by Tim Burton. That was definitely Tim Burton all the way. That was so cool. And for me, I gotta be very honest here with this one, guys. If it hadn't been for the practical effects and the stop motion, I don't know if I would have enjoyed part two as much. Because to me, that's what Tim Burton is known for. He's always been known for doing full practical effects in his films like Sleepy Hollow, Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. I'm trying to think of other movies he's done. The Edward Scissorhands, like he's known for actually building his sets and all that. And to me, if they had gone full CGI, I would have been really disappointed because Tim Burton's not known for that. Like he's known for doing his thing. And also too, it's like for the show Wednesday, I mean, it's pretty practical if you guys check it out. It's really well done considering it's a TV show by Tim Burton. It's very impressive what he pulled off with that show. And of course, there is some CGI, but it's not a big deal though. Because it's like he said, I believe in a past like interview when it came to part two of Beetlejuice, that he really wanted to go back to his old roots of filmmaking, and it definitely paid off in the sequel, in my opinion, of Beetlejuice. And I know they did announce a part three. I'm really excited for it. I'm sure it's going to be fully practical as well. And yeah, of course, there was some CGI in part two, but it wasn't a big deal. It was like pretty, it was easy to overlook. And yeah. So yes, in my opinion, I think part two does work. Of course, I do get why fans weren't a fan of it. I think they were expecting more to happen, but in my opinion, I thought part two worked. It was weird, it was funny. They got the majority of the original cast to come back. And yeah, I see it, like I really enjoyed the sequel. I really did enjoy it. It was really good. I'm a huge fan of Beetlejuice, and the fact that they got the original actor to come back and play him was the icing on the cake for me. That was perfection. And it was still hilarious watching his character on screen. So yeah, that's it for today, guys. It's like a very short video, but I thought it'd be really cool to talk about the sequel because, in my opinion, I thought it worked. So okay, so for my next video, I'll see what I do. Maybe I'll do a video game, a book, another horror movie, horror TV show. I'll see. Because this is all about horror topics, guys. I guess like a random one I come up with on the spot. Okay, peace out, guys.